Today we're visiting an abandoned holiday park with hundreds of bungalows and a collapsed subtropical pool. This used to be a bustling place full of fun. There wasn't just that huge pool, but also a big playground, mini golf, a bouncy castle, tennis courts, a restaurant, and much more. Now the park is completely abandoned, and that's exactly what I'm going to explore today with Julian. Let's head out on our adventure quickly. We've parked our car a little further away now. Behind me is the abandoned bungalow park, and we're going to try to get into the subtropical pool first. So let's head over in that direction. We're walking towards the bungalow park now, but a car is already driving in, so that's not a good sign.
Oh man.
Oh man. Jeez.
Jeez.
Well, oh jeez.
Jeez.
Oh man. We're already walking on the right path, but it's suddenly starting to rain really hard. So we're taking shelter by a little hut here for a bit. No one can see us here either. And when it lets up a bit, we'll keep walking and try to get through the fence somewhere. Oh, a car. Watch out, watch out.
Okay, a car.
Stand behind here.
Yeah, and then if it comes this way, we'll move over there.
Cars are just driving past here. It just keeps on raining, so there's nothing for it but to keep going through this rain. And look, this is the whole park. The parking barriers used to be here, and there are all the buildings, and I think I can already see the collapsed roof of the pool because that whole subtropical pool roof has completely caved in. Yeah, there it is already.
Oh my god.
The fence is already down here, so we can get over and then go inside through the collapsed roof.
Watch out for that glass, okay?
But it's better here. Yeah, I don't know what that car's doing.
It's driven off. It's fine.
We just came in through a window in the collapsed section, and this used to be the Wild Water Rapids. Look, this was the whole Wild Water Rapids. There are still some inflatable tubes back there, but you could also sit there to have something to eat or drink. But just realize how this is possible, that this whole roof just collapsed. It's really bizarre. There are still speakers hanging back there that used to be on the ceiling, and here we see the first plants. They're fake plants, though. I was wondering why they still look so good.
It's still cordoned off with tape here. That's really strange, I think.
Yeah. You know, I think they tried to block it off so that if people came here, they wouldn't go into the part where the roof collapsed.
Yeah, probably for their own safety.
Probably for safety, but I see a slide hanging there and even a kiddie pool behind it.
Let's go take a look over there then.
Then we'll go under the tape here. There we go. Now me. Like so. And look at this. This was the super large swimming pool. So here you could go up the stairs to take the slide. But let's move on quickly. So we really have to pay close attention because I've heard that there are still cameras hanging here and even motion sensors. And I really don't want to set those off. And look, here we see the top of the roof. I really don't understand how something like this can collapse. Anyway, here's another slide as well. Just under the rubble. And this was the exit of the slide.
I think there's a medieval style here. Like, you know, those knight paintings and all.
Yeah, I already saw a knight's head over there. But look here too, indeed, all these beautiful paintings and such. Look, that chandelier too, in such an old style. And here was just another jacuzzi. Look, there are also all those mats you could float on. But what was this? Was that a dragon or a snake or something?
I think a dragon. You know, like a fairy tale image, a dragon with the knights who have to rescue the princess. I think that's it.
That's right, yeah, because they really made such a beautiful head here, and it continues all the way. Look at those fins and such, or those scales. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, scales.
Scales?
Yeah, they're scales.
And here we see it even better. Look how cool this is. This is where all the kids used to come out. Maybe with a tube through that slide, and then they could continue here. Wow, Julian, here were the showers.
It's really cool to see that it's still so intact.
Yeah, everything is still here. I don't feel at ease either, because do you hear that?
Yeah, that clock. Yeah, it's still ticking behind you.
Oh yeah. Realize this. That clock, it still works. It's not set correctly anymore, but it's still ticking. Very strange. These were the showers then. Whoa, I'm not going any further either, because there might be a sensor here, but you could shower here. There were showers that were screened off, and there are still all these bikes. Those were maybe bikes you could rent here in the past when you came here on vacation.
Yeah, probably it was just to cycle through the park because it's probably so big.
Yeah, that could really be the case. And what Julian says is also true because it's still enormous here and we still have a lot to see. We're only in the subtropical swimming pool now, but I see a playground through the window over there. And here are hundreds of abandoned bungalows that I still want to try and see. Through the window here, I already see all these chairs, so that might have been a cafeteria. But what also strikes me is that up here, the emergency lighting is just on.
The power literally still works here. Very strange.
And that also means the alarm could still work, and I'm not in the mood for that. So let's quickly look at everything here and then go back outside. I hear a sound here again too, exactly like a refrigerator or something that's running. Look, so there was a bar there. You could get drinks or food there, but I can still hear those refrigerators running over there. Ah, and look, they also sold those inflatable tubes there. They're hanging there from the ceiling. If you had bought something there, you could go here. Then you could also sit here to eat or drink it. But look, here too, everything is in that pirate style. There are shields hanging everywhere here. Here also, those little flags. And look here, there's even a big cannon here.
Wasn't it actually a wave pool in the past?
Oh yeah, behind that wall are those big pumps that make those waves, I think. And there are also speakers hanging from the ceiling there. Then they let out a little sound. Blub, 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 blub. And then you knew that those waves were coming.
Or maybe there was a disco pool that was possible too, like specifically for the kids' zone.
That's possible.
That's possible, yeah.
If there was entertainment or something, that he'd be there. Come on, hop, hop, hop.
Also, yeah, that's possible. For some older people, it's called Aqua Gym.
Aqua Gym. So now we're here at the kids or the toddler pool. Look at this. Here you could sit as a parent while your child was playing. Here you have a little ladder and a slide. There's a little fish. You had to pull that lever like this and then water came out of its mouth. Over there, another ship with a slide. But this is really bizarre, right?
Very bizarre that it's still intact. It just exists. Very crazy.
Yeah, you don't find often locations like this. So I'm really happy, you know.
Usually you find that in America, but not in Europe.
Yeah, not in the Netherlands.
Yeah, the Netherlands, yeah.
There they did put all the trash cans together and stacked all the chairs nicely. We've seen the biggest part here now. Oh, there's another car driving past over there. That's not normal. The only thing we haven't seen yet are the changing cubicles. But I think we better just leave those be, because I think there's a sensor or alarm there. I've also heard that from people who were here before us, and I really don't want to set that off, because we still have so much to see here. So now we're going back through the window and back to the road where we came from. Back outside carefully here, and quickly back to the road so no one sees us here.
Will you still... Sosa?
Here we are back safely on this road now. We're going to walk a bit further now, and then we'll try to get inside all those bungalows. We're going through the grass here because I think, yeah, there's a hole in the fence here. Ideal.
There we go. We're in the jungle of Brazil now.
We have to be a bit quieter because all the bungalows are here and they still look pretty good. We're here. Julian, we're at the entire bungalow park.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's also huge.
Enormously big, and I think they all actually still look pretty good.
Yeah, it's also only just been abandoned, really.
Yeah, just barely. Not even a year yet, because 12 months ago, there were still people here on vacation.
Thousands of people.
So here are all bungalows that worked with a badge, I see. So they'll probably just be closed too. Yeah, see that with a badge, you had to tap it against that and then the door would open. But unfortunately, we can't get in here. You can see that everything is still inside. The garden chairs, the tables, the cushions from the sofas. And that's the case with all these bungalows that are here. It's suddenly starting to rain really hard here. So we're quickly going to look further for a bungalow we can still get into. If we find one we can get into, I'll film it. And otherwise we'll just keep looking for other models of houses. Here we're already walking on the street. This used to be nicely maintained. Now it's already completely overgrown here. And on this side there are already other houses, but look how many. So that was a parking lot. You could stand here. I don't think you even want to know how expensive one of these little houses is. And yeah, there are hundreds of them here, maybe even 1,000. Behind there are also all these bungalows. But I wanted to quickly show you this little soccer field. Behind that, there's also a ping pong table. But we really have to get out of here because all our camera gear is getting wet. So we're going to quickly look for a place to take cover. Whoa, oh yeah, whoa. We're standing here against the edge of a bungalow now because there's just no place to take cover. I do see a little playground back there. Oh yeah, there's also a lean-to over there. Either that or we should go sit under there. Whoa, whoa, come on, quick. Then we'll just sit under that little lean-to for a bit because we really can't keep standing here in the rain. This is really pointless. Here's the next playground. A swing, a slide. Also a barrel you could crawl through and one of those spring riders you could sit on. These are another type of bungalow again, but we can go stand under that tent over there for a bit. Everything's locked.
Yeah.
We've been taking cover here for quite a while now. It's eased up now, or it's even almost stopped. So we're heading back out. We really have to be careful here on these grounds because there are definitely still people working here. We've heard that from others too, so let's make sure they don't see us. Here's another post with signboards. It already says, swimming paradise, exit. There was also a supermarket and a reception and a restaurant area. It's windy and all this rain is coming down on us from all those trees and everything. But let's just keep moving quickly. This is still hanging here. Vacation for everyone. And here are other bungalows. The part where we're walking now is the part where people could actually buy a bungalow that was truly their own and that they could come back to more often. And you can see that very clearly here because a proper gate has been built here. There's still a sticker, camera surveillance, but I think those people are gone now too. You can see very clearly that these were all people's bungalows because every little house is different too.
Yeah, these are built a bit more solidly with bricks now, aren't they?
Yeah, this little house is built with bricks, but man, it's actually quite sad. There are so many hundreds of people here who really made their own little house, built it, and then they just have to leave too. Because look, this is a really beautiful house. There's still a whole garden set here. Look, those shutters were all closed before they left, but that's really just someone's home, basically. A vacation home where they probably stayed so many times in the past. And yeah, they just have to leave it all behind here and just go. And that's very sad. These people quickly put their garden set and barbecue and everything under the little lean-to. And then to realize that those people can probably never go back to their own little house again. There's even a photo of the owner's dog here, and there and here a little sign is already hanging, for sale. So they still wanted to sell this. So they built a nice little lean-to there, another place to sit here. So those people really put a lot of money into that. And then they just have to leave it all behind here, don't they?
Really crazy to realize, wow.
Look, a little house here too. There was a sunshade hanging there. There was an inflatable jacuzzi there too. It's still here. Something else inflatable over there for a lake or for the pool. And all the chairs over there too, with even the vases still on them. It's really as if they said, right, it's closed now, everyone out and leave everything behind. Because otherwise you'd at least take that inflatable jacuzzi with you, right? Or even the chairs or the things you could still use. But all the stuff is still just sitting inside here.
And yeah, just imagine there are families who worked for years for that.
And that's really bizarre. Here we have another little house. It says alarm camera surveillance there too. Here's another little house again. There's even a bike still standing there. In this house, even the windows are still open. All that ivy is growing right in there, and I could show everything here, but then we'd really be at it for hours because just this street alone keeps on going. And there are an insane number of streets here with all these houses. This owner clearly loved plants because there are so many here. Also, all these decorative figurines and such. And look there, all the pots, all the pans, all the bags are still under the lean-to, and it's very sad to see. Here's the little house too. Look, a nice chalet actually, also nicely decorated with a flamingo there, and all these beautiful plants planted here too. Normally we visit an abandoned house or a bungalow or something, but now we're here, yeah, in an immensely large park with just so many abandoned houses. I've really never seen anything like it. I keep saying it, but I find this just too bizarre. But it really strikes me that almost all these houses are for sale. Just as if they knew like, oh boy, this park is closing. Let's sell it quickly then so we're rid of it or something. That's what it looks like. We're at the information building now, but we have to be extremely careful here because people could still be working here. This used to be a little shop to get food and drinks. And look, that emergency lighting there is still on. This used to be for the children. Look, a craft corner. They could do crafts there. You can already see here that it was really for kids. And look, this was also a little train that drove around the park. And this was another large cafeteria for eating or drinking.
Yes, indeed. Looks a bit like a Chinese restaurant actually with that dragon, but I think it's just to do with that medieval style.
Yeah, I think so too. You can also see that all the chairs are neatly placed on the tables. But I see a lock hanging already, so we won't be getting in there. Wow, this used to be a big bouncy castle where the kids could jump. But look how many leaves and grime are already on it now. They just had so much more here because there's a whole mini golf course here too.
Watch out, that's a cat, man.
Watch out, the dragon's attacking you.
This isn't a tiger, it's just a cat, man.
But look, this was a whole mini golf course. There's also a full tennis court and a basketball court in one here. And there's the restroom building, so you could shower or go to the toilet there. We're walking outside now and we're coming across another little building here. You used to be able to buy fries here, but also ice cream and such. And all those ice cream machines, those fridges, those chairs, tables, everything is still inside here. Unfortunately, all those doors are closed, but just imagine how much money all this stuff that's still here costs. That's insane. We're almost back at the exit now. We still have to go through the fence and then we'll be safe again. So here's the hole in the fence, then I'll go through here. Julian too, and then we're back outside. We're going back to the car now. I hope you guys thought it was a super cool video too. Do you want to see another video of mine now? Then click here, because there we visit another abandoned monastery. So definitely check that out too, and then I'll say until the next video. Later.